All right. I already know what some of y'all are thinking. Bro, he's Filipino. Of course he became a nurse. But honestly, fair enough. I definitely fit the stereotype, but I like to think I bring my own little swag and personality into this job. So it's been about a little over 15 months since I became a working registered nurse. And man, if you would have told young nursing student Pinoy Spidey what life looks like today, he probably wouldn't have believed you, honestly. Maybe a little bit, but not completely. Now, a little about my story. I started nursing school after years in community college. I transferred over to a private nursing school, so I'm still paying off my freaking debt. It is what it is. It's all good. Can't do anything about that. But I'll talk about finances and everything like that in a whole nother video or just upcoming videos in general. I graduated in December 2024, started in January 2022. So I was in nursing school for about 2.5 years. Now, when I graduated, bro, that felt like I won a trip like to the Western Conference Finals, right? And then obviously I won in the Western Conference Finals, so we're the Western Conference Finals champions. And then my little celebration was going through the holidays, going through Christmas and New Year's, but then I had to study a little over a month to prep for the finals, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So the NCLEX, which is your basically the licensure test um, to work, as an RN, I had to take that. I took that February 7th, 2025. And bro, I studied hella days in January, dude. It was such a grind, bro. I was just like, damn, dude, I feel like everything's just info overload. But the way that you answer these questions, the way how you attack these questions, I'm like, dude, that's how you practice. It's like an SAT for nurses. Hella annoying, but it is what it is. So that day was a Friday. The next day, I went to church, bro. I went to church and I was like, please, God, bro, I hope I pass, big dog. I hope I pass. Obviously, God didn't take the test for me, but I'm just like over here crossing my fingers and my toes and everything. And, you hear all these whispers about like, how do you find out you pass without having to pay for like quick results and all that, right? So I found out all these tips and tricks. I passed. I found out I passed after church. I was like, let's go, boy. And I was like, hella yelling and stuff. And my family was so happy for me, bro. Man, that felt like I won the NBA finals right then and there, bro. That's when I was like, damn, dude. Now it's all about getting a job and everything, this and that. Literally a week later, my old preceptor, who I consider a dear friend of mine now, he hit me up and he was like, bro, hey, yo, I'm with my manager right now. Send me your resume ASAP. And then I was like, okay, say less. So I had to like run upstairs because I was downstairs playing, as you can see, something like this Spider Man. I had to get my laptop and I sent my resume. Within the week, I get a call from that manager. And he was like, I'd like to schedule an interview with you, blah blah blah. I see that you precepted here, and to me, I'm getting all these good vibes. I'm like, yeah, I did, boy, yeah, I did. And so after all that, insert cat meme, but essentially, I had my interview. And bam, bro, I got the job, man. I got the job offer like February 22nd, I believe, something like that. But yo, dog, that was when I was like, this is one of the biggest blessings I've ever received, bro. I felt like Steph when he won his first and only finals MVP, bro. That's how it felt like. I've been through so much personally in that time before and during nursing school, me and my family. And it just felt like, damn, bro. It was like, what are they gonna say now? Ah, you know? And it felt like we finally did it because that's what happened. Now, orientation started. I had training in Sacramento. Uh, we had to go there like 6 times in a span of, shoot, I don't even remember. But anyway, orientation started. That's when reality punched me in the face, bro. I wasn't ready, dog. Not even close. Like I remember stuff from the board, you know, just random things and holding certain meds, if all these little things, these little nuances. And if you're a nursing student, bro, or a new grad, listen to me. I want to reassure you and I want to remind you that it is perfectly okay to feel like a complete dumbass. I did. Shoot, bro, if I'm being completely honest with you, there are so many nurses that have been nurses for years that are complete dumbasses, bro. Like they're just trying to get by. And I'm like, yo, how do you do this for so many years? And I've always wondered, damn, these people can do it, then shoot, I could do a better job if I feel like they're dumber. Not to say like, nah, I'm not trying to be condescending, but I know certain things and I know what to do and what not to do. And if they're doing what the what not to do's, then I'm like, dude, I should be straight. You know what I mean? But every single nurse you've ever looked up to, dog, has been there, guy or girl. Honestly, one of the biggest reasons I'm still standing today is because of the nurses that took the time to teach me. Some of these OG nurses have been doing this thing. They've been in the game for 25, 30 years, and they've probably forgotten all like more nursing than the stuff I've learned in the books and all this stuff. But you know what? They taught me workflow. They taught me how to do things, how to think, how to prioritize, how not to panic. A good preceptor doesn't teach you skills, they teach you how to become a nurse. And to my OGs that helped me become who I am today, bro, I am so thankful for them because without them, without the foundation, I feel like I would have been one of those stupid ass nurses that don't know what they're doing and they're just trying to get by. So, after 15 months, what does nursing really look like? What does it feel like? Well, you start noticing patterns, not just medically, but human patterns, bro. Some people are scared, some are grateful, some people are frustrated, mad at the world, and some people have been through the healthcare system so many times that they know exactly how it works. I'm talking about, I'll just give you an example. Uh, we have this thing called SIWA for alcoholic patients. We treat um, basically their withdrawal. We give Ativan per their scoring, and some people just memorize the answers just so that they could get Ativan. It is what it is. I can't do anything about it, but that's how it goes. But sometimes, even though you see how people work the system, that can make caring for them hella challenging, bro. I've met patients who wanted every bit of help we can give. We're talking about certain things where it's like you're pulling teeth just to get things done. And I've met others who didn't want our help at all. And that's one of the hardest parts of nursing, bro. You realize you can't care more than someone cares for themselves. Then there's stuff nobody prepares you for. One day you think you're gonna have a normal shift, the next, someone's trying to leave AMA or against medical advice, trying to walk off the unit to go leave the hospital with the equipment or with their IVs, or your patiently suddenly decides restraints are optional, and you're standing there like, bro, what the hell are you doing, bro? Every shift has one moment where everybody just looks at each other, and you either start laughing. That's what I do. I have to laugh, bro. Tense situations and stupid situations or sad moments. You start laughing because if you don't laugh, you're probably gonna cry, dude. Now, the hardest part isn't IVs. A lot of them are hard sticks, meaning do they got puffy ass skin? It's hard to get an IV. Their veins are shot. You know, all these things. Bro. San Francisco population. You know, so it's not IVs. It's not charting. It's not meds. The hardest part, bro, is watching people suffer, watching families struggle, watching people who don't want help, watching 90-year-olds whose bodies are tired, while their loved ones, the people who love them, aren't ready to let them go. And those moments stay with you, bro. I think every nurse experiences compassion fatigue at some point. And it's for real, dude. If there's one thing nursing has taught me, it's this: know your stuff. You don't gotta know everything, but know enough to know your stuff. Never stop asking questions, all right? It's better to sound and like a dumbass than to be a dumbass if a doctor puts you on the spot. Never stop asking questions. Leave your ego at the door, bro. So many people think just because they've been a nurse for X amount of years that they're the hot stuff. But no, just leave your ego at the door. Advocate for your patients. You know, you're with them more than anybody else. Doctors make the decisions, they put in the orders, but bro, nurses notice the changes. Your voice matters. And people ask me, would I do nursing again? Hell yeah, I would, without a doubt. But every once in a while, you will have that patient or that family that simply says, thank you. Thank you for everything that you're doing for my mom, for my dad, for my sister, for my brother, niece, nephew, etc., what have you. And somehow that makes my 8 hours, exhausting 8 hours, worth it. Whenever I question why I chose this profession, I like to remind myself, what is my why? And for me, it's helping people during some of the hardest moments of their lives. I'm still learning, growing, and honestly, I'm probably always going to be learning. That's okay. That's nursing. And I would like to remind you and to ask yourself, what is your why? Because that question will stick with you and will be along with you for the ride for as long as you partake in this nursing lifestyle. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.